Hello, welcome to another episode of Gaming News Podcast. I am Bren,
I'm Spidey.
and we're actually doing it on a Wednesday today,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
I don't feel like
it's been a minute.
I don't feel like I'm out cold and dead.
Spidey has a. This was his last day at our workplace,
Yeah.
so that's crazy for him.
It's definitely a weird thing happening. It's very surreal.
Surreal, but hey, you're gonna move up in the world.
Oh,
It's gonna
for
be
sure.
fun.
And we'll be here on Wednesdays more often.
Yes.
Oh, my throat is hoarse.
At least you're.
Oh,
At least you're out of there. So, a couple things I want to talk about today. Apparently, there was a Pokemon. What is it? Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, which
I'm sure it talks about the DLCs and stuff. So we'll probably pop into that. If we don't, we'll do it next week. But
yeah.
I feel like we probably will. Anyway, I wanted to show after Mango won this big tournament, his message to Nintendo when Nintendo was trying to come down hard on Melee again. And when I say trying to, I mean they did.
Oh, really?
This is a while ago, but Mango won this tournament, and then this is what he said about to Nintendo directly.
I'm excited now.
Why is there no sound?
You can take
Do you hear this?
Yeah.
my controller, my GameCube, my CRT. I'll tell you something. I'll play Melee in my mind. As long as Melee lives, I will play. And if you take it all, we'll play in a garage. 20 people there, hot, sweaty, gross. Me versus Zane behind a 7-Eleven for $25. And that's what it's always going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand that the money, the fame. Nobody gives. Anybody who wants to be a top player gives no about that. So if you try to shut us down, you'll never shut us down. You think you might. But I promise you with all my soul, you got nothing on the Melee community.
No.
These are the cockroaches of esports. You try and kill them, you can't kill them.
Obviously, dude.
Just keep going, dude. So you can try. You're not going to succeed, whoever you are. Just remember that.
What did
Remember that.
What did Sakurai call us maniacs? He's goddamn
Don't get me
right.
started on Sakurai.
Hey, he still made the greatest
Okay.
game of all time.
On accident.
On accident. That's probably my favorite part already.
Accident.
Honestly, bravo.
Just remember one thing.
One
You
thing.
can
Bravo.
try and
That's
take
very
our
good.
Melee
That's why he's my favorite
take
player. Dude, right
Bravo,
there.
honestly.
Right
Well,
there.
it just gets old having to hear them say, "Oh, yeah, this is bad. Look at what you're doing. You're terrible."
So yeah,
It's like
that is
he did make it on accident. That is the truth. He made.
yeah, but yeah, apparently he came out. I saw some other news about him, not news, but him talking about like not making another Smash game. Or like at least beating around the bush. This is all like, it's not hearsay. I was watching a video about somebody who watched the video.
yeah, it's
Because
like
I didn't watch it, but he was almost saying that like Ultimate was like the final form of Smash, basically.
the final form. The internet sucks. What are you talking about? The final form. If that's the final form,
I gotta say, like I said, I was playing Smash Ultimate the other week, and I was like, because I had so much fun playing like couch play, I was like, this is so fun.
oh
I
yeah,
was like, why don't I like this game? I was like, it runs so good. Like, this is so fun.
no.
And like the second I got online, I was like, oh yeah. I'm talking like, pretend this is my character,
Oh, it's terrible.
and that was like multiple games in a row. And then you get a guy that you connect with, and you know, I would rematch that guy over and over again until
It's as
you
bad
feel
as
like it.
it's as bad as GoldenEye. If I'm gonna be honest, it's terrible.
The only thing is, fighting game people. There's two types of fighting game people. There's the ones that are like know the rules, the unwritten rules. Which the unwritten rule, one of the unwritten rule for online play in fighting games is you give them best out of 3, no matter what. So if I beat a guy once, I'll rematch him again.
Oh yeah.
He beats me, we go to a third round.
Code of honor.
And so that's just one. So even if I'm beating somebody bad, I'll play them, twice in a row, just so they have a chance to kind of get revenge on me.
So you're not just like.
And it helps you get better because you're predictable because I'm bad. So like they could kick my butt because they're like, oh well, he does this a lot, which makes you. Fighting games are a strange
Well, it's
breed
an
of
honor.
game.
It's an honor system.
So it's like, okay, so you do that, right? You're like, okay, I'll give these guys another chance. And not that I want to, I don't want to make these episodes about me. I feel like I've been talking like so much
care.
in the last few, but
Dude,
it's really like I'm just having a conversation that I would have with you off air, and we're just having it on air.
Yeah, I have nothing really to say. I'm gonna be honest, dude. Especially today, dude. Nothing has happened. Nothing's happened for me. I could be like, dude, I'm doing this or this project, but I'm not even gonna say anything about it because it doesn't even matter. It's not important right now. I can think about it later.
All right, well, you can say whatever you want, but so there's this weird fighting game. So what I was saying was like the best 2 out of 3, basically. A lot of people, like, if you don't run it back with someone after you beat them, especially if it's a close match and you don't give them a rematch, they're like, okay. Which I have to say, for a while, depending on my mental, I'll rage quit that crap. I'll beat somebody and be like, ha, bye.
Yeah.
Even if it was close, just because I'm a bait. My mental's terrible when it comes to games. But a lot of times I stick to it.
Oh yeah, because
So especially in a game like Smash, when someone's not lagging, you're like, please, I don't care if you're kicking my butt. I just want to play a game where I'm not lagging.
which is one of the hardest things you could ever do.
Yeah, and my internet is so fast. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just bad. It's bad netcode, dude.
It's netcode, and it's probably some Switches having just a bad Wi-Fi card.
Yeah, they
Not
didn't.
Very good
They
Wi-Fi
didn't.
card.
The programmers and the hardware people had no idea what they were doing.
But I don't lag on Mario Kart at all. Not a single time. So maybe it is them.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
it is
dude.
Smash.
Sakurai doesn't care about that. You think he cares about an online community?
He said that there's internet is perfect, functions perfectly.
Well,
So.
that was Miyamoto.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
wasn't Sakurai?
It's like, no, it's not.
We don't have to get into that again. That is just irritating. So I'm trying to not get too sidetracked, so I get through this stupid thing about the 3-person thing. So, yeah. So you usually give people another chance, dude. Anytime I would beat someone in Ultimate, they would quit. They would quit out on me. They would not play me again, even if it was close. It's like, dude, you could easily beat me. They would just quit. So it's like people don't understand that fighting games takes you. You have to have a strong will.
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna get dumpstered.
That's basically 90% of it. It's like chess. You can't expect to go in a match and just.
Except chess, at least you have time to like.
That's true. You have time to think, and also you can pull
You
out
have to-
some.
Yeah,
You can pull out.
it
some
is very similar.
ballsy strategies that can catch people off guard.
It is like chess. It really is.
Except,
In a lot of ways.
except, in my honest opinion, it might be harder.
I have no idea. I suck at chess, but I also suck at fighting games. I think that fighting games you don't unless if you're playing timed like Bullet, then it's like fighting games to a T. I feel like almost. If you're playing timed like Bullet,
I do.
where you have to go fast.
I do.
Well, then it is like fighting games because
I played
yeah,
Blitz. It's like 5 minutes.
So. Yeah, so your mental has to be really strong. The only reason I'm telling you about this is because Evo just happened. It was like the biggest fighting game tournament of all time.
Was that for like?
It's been going on. It's been going on. It's been going on since like no. It's been going on since like Street Fighter 1. It's like a all fighting game encompassing fighting game, like it's like a FGC thing, fighting game community like tournament. I watch it every year. It's so entertaining. Seeing people at the top level of fighting games is like. To me, esports wise, is like unmatched.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
Well, that's what those games were made for.
Yeah, it's like a spectator sport. It's really good to watch. It's a really good esport to actually watch. So, I watch that, and of course, every time I freaking watch,
You want to do it?
every single time, it's not because I think I can be like them, or maybe there is a part of me that does think I can be like them. I don't know, but I'm always like, dude, I really want to play fighting games, but I'm talking myself out of it. But I'm
You
saying
get the dopamine that comes in and rushes your brain cells.
I don't know what it is.
That's what
And
it
I have
is,
to I
my
have to
man.
fight myself on it daily. I have to fight myself on it daily since the Evo thing
Oh yeah.
to
dude.
be like, look, I'm watching people play at the top level. That is not what it's going to be like for me in the slightest, obviously.
I get
But
those
there's
urges
some
all the
stupid-
time.
There's some oh really?
I'm like on something, and then I'm like, oh, I can do this.
There's some stupid
Not
thing in my
anymore.
head that is like my thing is, if you don't want to put the time in, you're just not going to.
Yeah.
So it's just no point. So
It
it's
is
like
a waste of time.
I can tell myself how cool it would be to be even average at a fighting game. But that isn't how it's going to translate it in real life. Like I said, I brought Street Fighter 6 and I freaking returned it. Guess what I've been thinking about buying? Street Fighter 6 again.
Dude, just if you think the game's really fun, just play it.
This is where I think esports and streaming has like messed up my brain, like watching this stuff, because I'm like, when you watch the top level for so long,
You start
Something
getting
I think
dreams of grandeur.
kind of, but it's deeper than that too. It's like okay, well, if I'm not here, then it doesn't matter, basically.
yeah, that's
Not that
completely-
I don't want to be so extreme, because I don't totally think that, but there's something subconsciously that's like, if you're not practicing and getting really good, there's no point in playing it. And I think that's been ingrained in me. I don't know if it's because esports is so huge or because people are getting so good.
Well, what you need to do is I will try to play psychologist here. So what you need to do is just, instead of thinking you can be amazing, just do it for fun.
I don't know how to do that. I actually, with video games these days, I don't know how to mentally shift. I'll have days where I'll play games to just be having fun and I'm not thinking about
Just
anything
be like
else.
me, just force.
Those are great days.
If some spur of the moment, like if you have the desire to do something, then do it.
So I was like, you know what? It's easier said than done.
I know it's easier
Yeah.
said than done, but it's like, how many times in both of our heads are we going to keep thinking the same thing when it just wastes time?
It does waste time.
It wastes time. Those thoughts waste time. I'd rather go for something than just waste my time thinking, oh man, what if I really didn't want this at the end of the day? At least you had fun with it.
100%. And that is like, dude, we know. I'm not trying to get in the same conversation. Like, we know that's the accurate.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. I'm just trying. The only reason I'm talking about now is like the root of why I feel the way I feel. You know what I mean? I do think that like seeing good streamers and like streamers that are good at the game, not actually entertaining, because basically none of them are. But like, I mean, like, when I watch Evo, it makes me want to play a fighting game, which is normal. It's like, okay, you watch these people, you watch this dope tournament, not because let's even forget the fact about me trying, like, saying I want to be like them. It's okay to want to be like someone.
Yeah.
I think it goes deeper than just that. I think that that's a part of it, but I also think that my my is terrible when it comes to video games. I get beat down so fast and just don't want to. Like, fighting games are literally like I feel like 90% of it, not 90, that's a big percent, but a large chunk of it is being able to get beat down over and over and over again. And instead of being like, oh, I suck, I don't want to play this, you have to be like, okay, well, what could I do different? Every time, every scenario, you have to be like, well, what could I have done to make that not happen? So it's you basically making the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again.
until you stop and then
because
analyze
it's
it
different
over.
than other games. If
Oh,
I'm playing
yeah.
a shooter, I'm still gonna get some kills in a shooter.
Yeah.
I can play CS:GO. I'm still gonna get some kills. I'm still gonna I'm still gonna be getting some kills in Valorant sometimes. Like, but I've also been playing shooters my whole life.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where like they're just different. Fighting games, you don't get that sweet taste of winning
at all.
ever, unless you
Yes.
like until you earn that.
You gotta spend a few sleepless nights doing that.
So basically, it comes down. I think the main thing is it comes down to my mentality of like my mentality is garbage. I hate losing. I want to be good now. This is all like this is just me saying how I feel. I know it's wrong. Like I know it's like not how I should feel. I'm just telling you how it is. Because I was trying to think of like, why would I get rid of Street Fighter so fast? I was like kind of having fun with it. Like, what was it that like made me? Why am I like so into fighting games, but then not at the same time? Like what is it that's blocking me? I even got Mario Kart. Don't get me wrong. Mario Kart has been a blast, and it's a pretty casual game.
Oh yeah.
But it's very fun in that way though, because there is a skill gap to it of like with the drifting. Dude, the drifting is.
Oh,
it
it's
is
beautiful. It's beautiful.
I
in those
learned
games.
how to drift on a YouTube video because I was like, how are these guys drifting
And it might
like
be
like the whole time?
It might be one of the best, dude. I remember I would drift across stages like
Yeah,
crazy
dude.
as
Well,
a
that-
kid.
Once I learned how to drift, I was like
It's amazing.
properly in this game because
So good.
there's so many tracks that you have to
oh,
drift,
dude,
or you can't do it.
You can like. I remember back on the DS one, I would owe it, dude. I would drift all the time. Every single time I played, I would just drift constantly.
Yeah.
Like if there was like especially if you have like one of those curved surfaces, dude, you can fly by on one of those if you drift.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's made for.
It's amazing.
So I was like, dude, I watched a video of how to do it, and then I just started drifting. It's like you're gliding on ice. It's so, and you get boosts from it.
Oh,
it's
dude,
like,
that's what I'm talking about. That's the
it's
best
like-
part.
so I was like, this mechanic in the game and the crazy wackiness of the items is so fun.
Oh, it's insane. It's like
So I was like, this is really fun. So I am actually legitimately having fun playing Mario Kart. Like, I've been playing it for hours every day because it's just like so fun, and it's like competitive, but it's not. It's like you want to win, but it's not a big deal if you don't win.
no.
Because there's so much RNG going on, but it's like that kind of makes it fun at the same time.
It's insane. It's like
It's a beautiful
basically
game.
never
It's honestly
know
a
when
beautiful
someone's
game.
gonna win. It's
Nintendo nailed it on
It's a good
that
game.
that series, like that IP.
It's
Amazing game.
Yeah.
So- What?
The one that's nuts is F-Zero. That game's insane.
See, apparently Mario Kart 9 is going to be a little bit like F-Zero.
F-Zero is literally crazy. Like
They're
honestly,
saying the new Mario Kart is going to be more like having a little more mechanics like that. So there's going to be
F-Zero
more
is
mechanics
like
to it.
almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a hard game.
It's hard. I played it. I love it, but it is hard.
It has some amazing music and amazing like gameplay. Like it blows my mind how that hasn't gotten another game.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
Like, how has F-Zero not gotten another game? That game was nuts.
I feel like it would go off. I feel like people would
Oh,
love,
dude.
would play it like crazy.
F-Zero
Especially if you had
X-
multiplayer, like competitive multiplayer, people would lose their mind. on that.
F-Zero X had custom tracks, and if it had multiplayer, match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. It was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great shout out. We haven't really talked about
It's
that much.
nuts.
That's a
Like,
great game. So, with that being said, my purchase of Mario Kart, it's been fantastic. It's
Oh.
so fun. I can play it and watch something else. You know, it's chill,
Yeah.
but it's also like sometimes you get those moments where you're hitting every single,
Oh,
you're hitting the
yeah.
tightest You're getting the good items, and you're hitting like the tightest turns. You're drifting as tight as you
Dude,
can
it's
on the corner.
beautiful. It's
And I'm just,
beautiful
it is, yeah. It's like
the joy you get from that is the joy I get from mine.
Yeah.
It's like crack.
Yeah, I was literally
not
like,
to
dude,
be.
this is so. It's almost like ASMR to my brain.
It is.
It's like satisfying, and you feel good that you like did it.
Oh, dude, it feels like you're a legend.
Yeah, so it's very, very. They did amazing with that.
Oh, dude.
That's
why I wish. That's why I wish they just released all the games on one cart just to be funny. That would just be so crazy if it was just one cart every single game.
Dude, I just think they should just dump every map. They should just dump every map
Oh yeah.
onto the new one. Just dump every single map from all the other ones.
Unmodified. Do not
Be
add.
poppin'.
Yeah. Do not add.
That is a
any-
little irritating that they
like,
change stuff on some of them.
that-
Luckily, some of them it's not too much, but it's still a little irritating.
Dude, some like they go. That's one thing where it's like hovery and watery. It's weird. It's like there's almost too much in the new levels. Like there's too much.
Yeah.
Like I understand having like some switch ups for some of them, but like when every stage has some gravity thing or some water segment,
I kind of like it. It's because dude. It is like
it goes like.
it takes a little to get used to. It's so crazy on some of them. Like just because the camera is shifting, it's like
It goes a little.
your perspective. It's not just horizontal the whole time. It'll be like
It goes very
crazy.
It almost goes like too crazy in some cases.
In some capacities,
It's like
yeah.
It's like so much is happening that it's like what we said about Lego games. There is way too much freaking happening. It's like this is happening, then this is happening, and then
100%. So,
not that it's bad though.
So-
It was a good game.
so to give it its credit, great IP. This Mario Kart 8, excellent game. Since I've been drifting, dude,
No, it's a great game.
it's just been. And the more you know the tracks, the more you know exactly how to hit the drifts perfectly. It's just like, it's a great game. It's a great game because it can be as shallow as you want, and
Oh,
you can
yeah.
still win
Or deep,
sometimes, and it
yeah.
can be as in depth as you want.
Well, in depth
It's
and
very-
insanity, literal insanity.
It's a very good kind of game where it's like you could just pick it up. You know, you could just pick it up. Like you could play right now, and we could play
It's insane.
online, and like we wouldn't just get totally dumpstered the
It's
whole
crazy,
time.
dude. It's not even. Well, you don't even know what's gonna happen. That's essentially what it is.
As long as you know how to drift.
You
If
like
you don't know how to
never-
drift, if you don't know how to drift, you will not win a single race.
True. Yeah, no.
That is one thing you have to. Because I
That's-
was playing
yeah.
without it, and I was like, oh, this is impossible. Like, I was like, I have to be drifting like them.
When I
or
started
this is
learning
impossible.
those mechanics, dude, yeah, no. I was like on DS, just learning how to drift. It was so fun.
Dude, it's the most satisfying mechanic.
It's a fun. It's a.
all booze that I was gonna have to cut that.
I thought that was water for a second. That would have been hilarious.
Mixing it with a little Paparino over here. Anyway, a couple drinks to loosen up. It is like very unmatched. Like it felt really rewarding right away, and it's not too complicated. It is easy to learn how to do. A little bit hard to like totally master.
Oh, yeah.
To like be doing it. every time.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anyone masters Mario Kart. I think that's one game where it's so.
I was seeing some guys that were freaking
like mastering it. It's so
Fine.
RNG. Anything could change.
in
Anything could
that
change though. Like the worst player could absolutely
You could only-
destroy.
If he can drift, yes.
If he can
It's
drift,
possible.
yeah, it's
If he
possible
can't
for
drift,
him to win.
You could get so lucky and win one without drifting,
Oh, yeah.
but that would be like that. That's probably a rarity because I
But,
played.
Like
I learned how to drift. I was playing and I was like, even the bots were beating me.
the
I was,
eighth,
sometimes on the highest level, I was like, I had to be. I was like, how are these bots drifting like this?
The
Like, I
eighth-
need to learn how to do that.
the 8th place though, dude, that is like a victory spot in some ways, man.
It can be, but you can
Yeah.
also get unlucky back there too.
And then the AI comes and auto targets you and basically kicks you out of first place. Not that they're
They're
hard.
like, oh, got a spiky blue shell, got a spiky blue shell, got a
Yep,
spiky
and
blue
they can.
shell.
The thing is, they can aim it perfectly. Anything.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Is it like that hard? No. I mean, the AI is pretty brain dead in most of the games. It's pretty. You don't see them running into walls, but they They don't use. They don't.
Mario Kart 8, they're pretty crazy. I gotta
'cause
say. I mean,
in
I
every
could beat
other
them.
game, they were easy.
Yeah, because I was getting first without drifting.
Yeah.
I haven't played single player mode since I've learned how to drift pretty well. So I probably I may destroy
Oh,
him
dude,
now.
you destroy him. You destroy him. Except for in battle mode, then it's just anyone's game.
Because they can hit everything.
Oh yeah, dude. You don't even expect to be in the jail because there's jails in battle mode. Multiple
Oh
times.
yeah, I forgot about that.
It's interesting. I think the battle mode is where they also didn't do that well in this version. I didn't really like the levels. Just kind of like the regular levels. I have my qualms about some of them, but at least they're fun to play. But the battle mode is kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, like even 64's battle mode I recently replayed. It was okay. Like it wasn't like the DS one had like some of the best levels ever, dude. You had like this ice cream thing, and there's like
I remember that one. I do remember the ice cream one, yeah.
Good, dude. Oh my god.
It was a great game.
Oh, I can remember the music, dude. I can remember the music like it was yesterday. Oh, yeah. The nostalgia is too powerful.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic game. We could both agree on that. Like that series is fantastic.
Fantastic series. 7 was terrible. That one was bad.
Double Dash?
7 was like the 3DS one. It was after Mario Kart DS. Barely anyone.
I didn't mind the. I didn't mind the 3DS.
Barely anyone played it. Basically, almost no one played it because it was. It added those gimmicks with the water and stuff, but it like. I heard it was bad.
I mean, Mario Kart 8, I was kind of thinking it was going to be like not dead because it's the newest Mario Kart,
yeah.
but I was like, it might take me a little while to get into matches. It's like immediate.
Well,
you're like in matches immediately.
I mean, they're geniuses because they're adding the old maps. That's like other games should be doing. Call of Duty.
Don't get me started. So, with that being said, Mario Kart is an absolute like just thinking about it is
Great
like, oh yeah, that's a game that I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna play.
Great game, bro. Great game.
But that makes me think like what you're saying when you're like, dude, life's short. It's like, why not just play what you want to play? Why not try to get good at what you want to get good at?
It's like, but Mario Kart though, that's like an addiction.
So yes, you're correct. So basically, what I'm saying is with the fighting game stuff, it's like, okay, well, why not just go try?
Yeah. Just give it a shot.
I don't know. So it's like, yeah, but it's like I've tried, and I tried recently. I bought Street Fighter 6. I didn't even play online. I played it. It was like, nah, just got rid of it.
Oh.
Like, returned it to Steam.
Ooh.
Not because it's not. It's a very fun game. I think something in my head was like, look, I'm not going to put the time into this to get. The bar to even be able to play people online is like.
Oh, it's
pretty high.
Yeah, dude, it's like.
It's high.
It's insane. You're better off
so
just
like,
mastering one character.
100%. And I'm cool with that.
And that's about it.
But it's like. You like have to be learning how to do combos and all that stuff. It's like, do I really want to put the time into like wait until combos are muscle memory? Like that, like the barrier of entry is really high for fighting games. That's why it's a growing community, but it's like the bar is like, that's why people will pick it up, play it, and stop playing it so fast.
Oh yeah,
because people, it's like. You got to be a certain kind of breed to be like, this is what I'm playing. I'm grinding this.
Well, you gotta bite off as little pieces as you can chew, or you're gonna be like, this sucks. Like in terms of practice, like you gotta bite off little by little by little, or else you're gonna start sucking and having trouble. And if you're sitting there grinding it, your brain's gonna be like, ah.
You're right. You're right. You gotta have time to
sit down, think. Like,
yeah.
because take it from a guy who's grinded at stuff, it's terrible.
Oh, I've grinded.
It's
I have
terrible.
grinded
It's so bad.
majorly at games.
It's,
So basically, what I'm saying is, I feel like I don't have the mental to just sit there and get beat up for hours and hours and hours. Until you finally reach a point, you know,
you and 90% of the population, they're like,
100%.
dude.
But
check
it's like
this
I
out."
really want to, but it's like
Why didn't someone just
it's
make?
like, do you want to? If you're not, I've always been a person who says if you want to do it, you're gonna do it. But that's not necessarily
No.
accurate.
Yeah, if you want to, dude, if you want to accomplish something, you just sometimes you gotta say frick to your feelings and just do it. That's how I play games sometimes, where I'm just like, okay, but I'd rather be doing this or this or this. I'm like, I'm just gonna play this game. I like this game so much, I don't even care. I'll suffer through whatever bad parts are in it. I suffered through freaking Assassin's Creed 3's 2-hour opening. It's the dude of little Connor running around like to the really bad tribal music.
That's true.
It was terrible. Was it a worthwhile? Was it boring as frick at the beginning? Yeah, it was terrible. It was probably one of the worst intros you could ever have for a video game. But I sat through it and I got to the meat of the game. It's like you just got to be like, this is going to be boring as frick.
But there is the chance, there is the possibility that I just don't like playing fighting
Yeah.
games that much.
That's true.
Which you would think you would think that I would know that or not.
It can be hard to know stuff like that, dude. Take it from
I
a guy
guess.
who's switched 20 different things, man.
That's true.
It's like you never you.
But it's like if I'm playing a fighting game, am I having fun? Most of the memories I have having are like no. I'm like, even when I would win, because Guilty Gear Strive was one of the ones I played the most. That like anime one that I got like a while ago.
I remember that one.
I played that one the most, and I actually started getting like wins on it. But it was like by the time it was over, when I'd win a match, I'm like, I had to sweat my balls off, like literally palm sweaty, like, you know.
Like,
But then it's like
but also the
there was a fun aspect to that too, though.
well, yeah, the fact that you have to orchestrate and work through the chaos is kind of part of what makes it addicting. Is the really overbearing, like, ugh, I wish I could just do this instantly, but I have to work through it. It's like
What you're saying, yes,
it's
that
one of the most
attitude
gratifying things you could ever
is
have.
what stopped me from doing so many things in my life. Is that being like, I want to be good now.
But then the sucky moments end up becoming
Which is impossible. It's literally impossible.
End up becoming some of the most fun in hindsight. Like with all the videos I made, dude, there were days I was like, I don't want to make this video, but I just made it. And when I looked back on it, I was like, that was amazing. I was like, it's like even the stupid little mods I finished, I was like, sure, it was a pain in the butt, but it was like, that was like the most gratifying thing I've ever freaking done. Like, that's like, anytime I get a solid video out, I'll go back and look at it and I'll be like, it's like that Spider-Man video. Oh, dude, there were times I was sitting through that thing like, oh. But then afterwards, I'm like, totally worth it. Every moment I spent on that. It's ironically, the struggle is what really, like, if you grab onto that struggle, it just really makes you be like, oh, this is terrible, but this is going to be worth it at the end, man. It's hard to explain. It's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. It's like euphoria at the end.
Yeah.
It's like
I definitely feel you on that
you're
to an
like,
extent.
in the middle, you're like, oh my gosh, why can't this just be done? Why can't this vision be fulfilled? But then, like, when the vision's fulfilled, it's like, and I probably repeated this before, but that's just how much it means. It's like work, literal work, which doesn't sound fun at all. It sounds like it's miserable, but like the payoff, man, the payoff is nuts.
Well, yeah, this is you feel good, yeah.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
It's
Dude, I don't disagree with you. It's just a matter of like, that's where I'm saying my mental is bad. It's like, okay, after like 4 days of getting my balls kicked in, it's like, then who cares? It's like that night we were playing Fortnite. We were all playing Fortnite, but it was on like a Saturday night or Friday night, and we were getting dumpstered over and over and over again. Like, we weren't even getting a kill. No, when we were playing Apex.
yeah. You were like,
It's like I was having no fun. I don't think it's fun
to
to get dumpstered over and over and over and over again, even when I'm not even shooting my gun. Like, that is not fun to me.
Well,
So, but
at that point, then you just kind of have your answer.
it's fun.
there.
It's fun because I'm hanging out with you guys. Like, that part's fun. But the actual that you could insert any game at that point, and it'd be like, okay, well, at least I'm hanging out with the guys. Like, that part's fun. So I'm not dissing that. I'm saying like the actual experience of playing the game was terrible. So it's
Yeah,
like it's like, okay, that's what I'm saying. Where it's like, that's just a weak mental. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, like my mental is just not good. It's like, dude, you're being illogical. You don't want to put the time in that you know you could do. And I think I go on stints of playing casual games for a while because not that Mario Kart is a casual
You know
game.
what you
It's
should
just-
do?
What?
Just instead of making it a stint, make it a long stint. And while you're doing that, think about it. Just
What do
take
you
take a hiatus. Take a hiatus.
Oh.
Take a hiatus.
Oh, dude, I have been. I mean, dude, Mario Kart. When I've been playing Mario Kart and Fortnite and stuff, that's just me just chill. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just chill. Like, I'm just like chilling.
Just be like, you
And
know what?
then-
Maybe you'll sort it out.
I've done this before. I've done this many times. I won't. In the sense of I won't feel any different when I come back. It's like, okay, like I constantly start having this goal of like, I want to be like able to play fighting games to an extent. I've had that goal. You know how many times I've had that goal.
dude.
Many
It's been probably
Many times.
Years.
years. And then I do it, and I just quit so fast. 'Cause I'm like, ugh, so much to learn. Yeah, it's like, ugh, so much to learn. Like, there's so much to learn. I've always said I wanted to try to compete in any kind of tournament, like just in any game. It's the only type of game I don't need a team, unless I'm doing like StarCraft or something, which I'm not going to do that. That's absurd.
Yeah, you'll be sitting there for hours, like
Yeah, RTS. That's too
You'd be
far.
like,
Yeah, it's still being bad. I'll be like, not that
Yeah,
I love
that's-
RTSs, but I literally love RTSs strictly from the point of
Yes.
they're just fun to play, and that's it.
Yes.
Which maybe that's how I should think of fighting games too.
Yeah, you should just be like, hey, just be like, hey, this is terrible, dude. No one likes to freaking lose or suck at something. No one does. It's terrible.
That's where I'm saying the mental. That's where I'm saying though the mental comes in. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? So it's like my mental's so bad that I'll just be like, yeah, I quit. So fast. To the point where I returned to Street Fighter 6 the same day. Like, not even barely an hour later. I was like, nah.
Yeah, it's an endless
That's, like,
cycle. that you
pretty
get caught in, and you're being
bad.
driven crazy by it. And that's what happened with
Yeah.
me with my stuff, and that's when I was like, okay, maybe it's time to walk away from this for a long time. That's what I started to do now. I think I'm a week. I haven't worked on a project in like a week. Like seriously worked on one. I'm just like I don't need to think about this right now. I don't need to think about constantly. I gotta get my mind on something else, or I'm gonna be driven nuts.
Okay. Basically. So basically, yeah, we had technical difficulties. Yeah. I noticed you were. I was kind of saying stuff and you weren't reacting. And I was like,
Same here. I was like, John was like,
oh, so I was frozen on your screen
you were
too.
I was like,
so we were both frozen on
I
each
thought
other.
you were like
That's
pondering
crazy.
for a long time. I was
I'm
like,
so dude, so what I'm saying is, if you feel that way, I don't think you should have to. I feel like if you like something and passionate about something, you should just naturally want to do it. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
honestly, dude, sometimes you gotta fight for it, man. You gotta fight for the passion.
Even stuff. So I have to fight stuff that I like.
You have to fight stuff that you like, yes, because you want in your head, you have this vision of the end, and human beings aren't very patient. They're not patient at all.
Not patient at all.
No. Dude, anyone who thinks of a dream is going to be like, dude, why is this not being accomplished? And it's like, if I'm thinking about this the entire time,
That is
maybe
how
I
it
need
is,
to, what I need to do is slow the frick down. This is to you too, viewers. This is to you too if you have it. Slow the frick down. Take some time to not think about it. Like, actual time to not think about it, because I can say, dude, I'm not thinking about it right now, but it's still going on in my head. It's still, gears are still turning over and over. It's okay to think about it, but just don't, like, give yourself some time to walk away from it for a bit. You will do it in some way. Does it mean it's going to be in the exact way that you want? No. But you will. But constantly thinking about it is just going to get you depressed and down. It's just going to make you think, oh gosh, my life is not being fulfilled because I don't have this one thing in life. It's like, no, you gotta slow down, take stock of it, and then if it's that, like if that mentality is still there, you probably should stay away from it and hiatus from it for a while. It's the same with me.
Well, I've had plenty of hiatus from from fighting games because I don't play them.
and I'm saying, like, just thinking about any of that stuff, any of, I gotta do this, I gotta be good at this or this or this, like, just
Yeah, I probably shouldn't think.
like
You're right. I
I've
probably
been
shouldn't.
so
think
obsessed with it too, dude. I've been obsessed with my goals all the time, and I'm like,
But
oh,
is everybody
this,
like
this,
that, or
this.
are we just like that?
Actually, the
It's
funny
like, is
part
everybody
is,
stressing
I
out
don't know.
about that
no,
stuff?
we're
or
stressing
are we-
out because we
Here's
think
the
about
thing.
it.
The thing is, for someone who's so stressed about his goal, why am I never hitting it or even trying? You're
Because
so
the stress
locked
in
on
it
your goal
is
why are
making
not
you
hitting it?
afraid that you're not going to do it. That's the real reason. Your stress
Okay,
is
then what's the difference between me and the
blocking
guy
you.
who doesn't care and just does it anyway?
the guy who doesn't
What's the difference
care.
between me and that guy.
Possibly waits years and then finally is like, oh, maybe I'll do this. It's like Matt, like our brother. He didn't touch the game that he was working on for months. Man didn't even give a crap. He'd be like, oh, maybe I'll do this today, and then he wouldn't do it. But then I'm watching him, dude. Compared
Now
to
he's
me,
flying through
he's
it.
excelling because he's not constantly thinking about it. This goes for me too. Stop. It's hard to do, but stop. Like it's not accomplishing anything. In fact, it's making you not want to do your goal at all.
Okay, but the difference between me and you though is that you've actually put an extensive amount of effort into it.
Oh yeah,
I have not.
But like any dude, and
I try for a little bit and then I quit immediately.
it's awful.
You've actually like really tried many times to put it. You've
yeah.
actually put a ton of hours into it.
Oh yeah,
I have not done that.
and it's been fun. Some days I've been like, oh man, I kind of wish I wasn't sitting there the whole time going. And then now I'm like, you know what? It was fun. Was it? It's fun. Is it?
Just to be specific, which goal are we talking? You talk about making a game?
Just any goal that I've had, literally any goal under the sun. You could name 50 of them.
Okay, drawing though, you did improve immensely at drawing
Yeah, I did because
compared to when you started, when you were basically
dude.
at like maybe a 5-year-old level of drawing.
I got dude, lower than 5-year-old. That's giving me too much of a compliment. A 5-year-old could draw better than I did, but that's because I just didn't give a rip. I was just like, I hate this. It was I hated it.
Yeah, but you were like you got better.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you sat down and were like, I know I suck, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I can't think of, besides skateboarding, which I still ended up sucking at skateboarding, but I got a lot better. And honestly, Call of Duty, because I was terrible at Call of Duty.
You got better than all of us.
Before Warzone 1, I was the worst at it. But I haven't really felt that passion.
Well, it's hard to.
You're making a ton of sense, honestly. Tonight,
Like,
you are
it's just-
correct. It is like you stress yourself out. It's like you
like-
put the weight of the it's like you put the weight of the world on your shoulders
Yeah,
for this one
it's like-
stupid goal, and then it's like, why?
It's like, why are you doing that? Just you know what? Just ignore your. This is what I do. Honestly, this is how I've just been getting through life in general. I just don't even think about my feelings. I'm like, why am I putting so much stock in feelings? Feelings are the things that are holding me back. Like, seriously, they're holding me back from so many
Honestly?
things. I'm like, oh. It's like at work, I'll be nervous. Like, oh, this is so bad because the situation was bad. But me thinking that and just going in my head got nothing done. That's why on the final day, example here, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get whatever I can get done and then just forget about it. And I did. Because for me, if this was me a couple days ago, I'd just be obsessing about it still. I'd be like, oh, did I do this right? What happened? Oh, and then when I finally sat down and just started just laying down, relaxing, I slept both those days, not thinking about anything but like sleep, and I just chit-chatted. I watched some cooking shows with the family. I sat down. I was like, you know what? I can get to this later. I can get to this stuff that I want to do later, and I'm not going to make promises anymore. I'm not going to make promises like, I'm totally going to finish this, dude. This will totally be done. It's like, I'm not going to tell anyone about my projects anymore. I'm going to keep it shut. My trap shut on how, like, if this is going to get finished or not. Literally. Because I'm tired of telling people this is totally going to happen.
Is this so? You're saying stuff like it's in my brain, basically. Like I totally understand what you mean. So it's like, is this a common thing? Like, because you and I we're on the same exact page. I mean, what you're saying is like exactly what I'm talking about.
Take it from a man who's listened to like,
we couldn't be more. You couldn't. It's like you're reading my mind.
Well, it's because, dude, I've been there. It may seem
the difference is though, Seth, you
put
a ton of time. I mean, a ton. Like you've actually.
Oh yeah.
You've actually obsessed and done stuff weeks and weeks at a time and like done it.
Yeah. I've grinded.
I kind of feel like, can I be honest? And this is we're getting a weird. It's like gamer psychology episode again.
I gotta put my psychiatrist cap on.
But if anybody, maybe other people have the same problem.
Yeah.
I feel so. Don't get me. So Mario Kart, incredible game, super fun. Literally an absolute. I've been having an absolute blast from this thing. From playing Mario Kart. Absolute blast, having so much fun. But I feel like I'm avoiding.
You're avoiding what you really want to do.
I'm avoiding really trying to do something because I'm a wuss. Wuss might not be the right word, but you know what I mean. Not a wuss. It's like
you're like
I'm purposely avoiding. I'm like using it to placate me because I'm I don't want to deal with how. I know this is what I want to do, but I don't want to try.
You don't want to be hurt
because it's hard. Because I'm a baby.
Yeah. Same here, dude. You're preaching to the choir. It may not seem like it, but yeah. Except, unfortunately, for the stuff I was doing, the people that I tried to depend on weren't even there. So, when I made videos and such. So, that was awful. I was like, hey, can you guys do this for me? And then they wouldn't do it at all.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
Okay. I remember that, yeah.
and that imagine you're complete, you have this like massive vision, and then it just goes. And then people are like, where is it? Where is it? And I'm like, it's dead. Okay? It's dead. Unless you want me to, you know.
So when you're making a game, let's say when you're making a game.
I have the worst mental with that. That's probably the worst mental I've ever had with anything.
Let's just say, yeah, okay. So I just want to try to see if we're in the same. So let's say you're making a game, and you're just obsessively do you just obsessively think about the end goal?
Oh yeah, dude.
And then if you're not even kind of close, you're just like, screw this.
Oh yeah, basically. Dude. I get annoyed and I move on, or I think the idea is too crazy. And that's when I started to realize I got to this point where I was like, I'm one guy. It's art. That's the only freaking problem. Art. Seriously, it's the worst thing ever. You have to make a game look pleasant. And that is like the hardest freaking thing you could ever deal with. Nobody cares about programming. Like, for me, I don't care. That's something.
That's what we were saying. You would need someone to do the art. Unless you do pixel art like you were doing recently.
And dude,
I don't know if you killed that project or not. But
I'm gonna be honest. The amount of problems, so many.
Not that
things,
it was a project.
It wasn't even a project. It was just me goofing around,
tinkering around. Yeah.
And you know what? It's hard, and maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe I won't. Honestly, I'm at this point where I'm like, you know what? You don't rule my life anymore. Not again. Doesn't mean I don't like you, but I can do other things. I'd rather be practical with my goals than be like, oh, I can totally make a full-fledged AAA game with 2D graphics or whatever, and this and this. It's like you have these, pardon the voice, but you have this stupid meat-headed man part of your brain is like, yeah, man, I got this. You know? And then you start to realize that man part of your brain is the thing that's holding you back. The part that's like, I'm going to do this, man. You have this like bravado, this insane bravado. It's almost...
I wish I had.
It's macho bravado.
With my goals, I don't have that anymore.
Then
I used to, though.
The macho bravado kills your goal. Immediately. It kills your... Because you start to see the realistic implications of what's going to happen. If you sit there drawing...
You gotta be realistic. Yeah, you gotta be realistic.
If you do that, and then...
But people do it. People do it.
And that's where modding was kind of my safe space, because... I say this a lot, but it was because... You're just sitting there and you have the assets all there. Yeah, it may not be your game, whatever, but at least it's something.
Who cares? Yeah, who cares? But like, that's the advice that I need to take from my... What I'm telling you is what I need to say to myself. Yeah. Who cares? Who cares?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
You gotta stop.
Think about this, too. Dude. I compare it to... Oh, man, I had such a good train of thought that I lost. I had something perfect to compare it to. It wasn't... I can't remember. But yeah. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I feel like you shouldn't have expectations. No. I shouldn't expect to be good at something.
No.
And I've had a problem with that since I was young. Skateboarding, I pushed through because it was fun. Because it was actually fun. I actually thought it was fun. I don't skateboard anymore. To clarify, like, I'll push around every once in a while, but I don't go to skate parks anymore. But I wasn't thinking about, whoa, I'm super good. I was just like putting myself out there and being like, I am. I suck.
This is going to be...
I'm getting better every day.
And you were like, this is going to be awful. You're like, this is gonna be awful. And
skateboarding was different because it was just a blast. Skateboarding was just a blast.
It's
the
a
whole time.
blast, but like when you're doing something,
It was scary. It was adrenaline
That's true.
rushes. It was different.
It's not comparable. It's not comparable to something that's like.
I was
where
getting
you're sitting there.
exercise. I was in
Yeah.
the best shape of my life. When I was skateboarding every day. I actually was getting like muscles in my stomach that you could see.
And
Granted, I stopped doing all that real quick, and now I have a
man,
large gut. But
So same here, dude. I got a pot belly, but
that's not the point. The point, who cares? The point,
yeah.
well, basically, what I'm saying is, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm using avoidance.
Well, yeah, you don't want to get hurt, like most people.
Pathetic, because it's like being hurt is stupid. It's just losing in a video game.
Yeah, you're
which
like-
goes to show I put way too much weight into
Yes.
a video game. Which I think has been my whole problem, which circles back to when I was talking about esports and stuff. It's like warped. I'm not going to end up being someone who is winning a large tournament. It's just not going to happen. Unless miraculously something happens.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be thinking about that at all.
No.
You should be improving daily.
Yeah, you gotta do.
That's an obvious, like,
It's
that
all-
duh.
But
That's what
it's
everyone's going
also-
to tell you. You got to look at it like this. You got to look at it like
It's
this. Like, that's what
incremental,
everybody's
yeah.
going to say.
It's incremental.
But it's more than just that. You have to force. For me,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to force myself to look at it that way.
Oh, it's hard, dude. It's hard
Because it's easy in Mario Kart because it's so funny because we're talking about games, but they're important to me. First, so like if I get like 5th and I drive really well and I get 5th, that still feels really good in Mario Kart. So you don't have to get first in Mario Kart to not feel like trash. In a fighting game, it's cut and dry. You lose or you win.
Yeah, you're like you're.
So I feel
basically
like
it's
I'm opting out. I'm opting out of a dream that I have because I'm afraid and I don't want to put the time, like, effort in, because I'm afraid that I'll fail, which I think has been a problem with me my whole life. Is I don't want to fail at things, so I just don't do them.
Yeah. Dude, preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
Preaching to the choir.
I feel like that's common.
It is.
Also,
We're obsessive creatures.
I remember by comparison. I was gonna say back in the day. I don't remember why I was thinking this, but back in the day, I used to love making videos. Like, I loved it. But it was one of those things where, like, you know, my old channel, Want to Be Seen.
Yeah.
Channel.
That was back in the golden years of YouTube.
Those, I just made them because it was fun. Like, there was no, I wasn't thinking
you're
about
just
being
like-
famous.
You're just like,
I just thought I was funny. I liked making jump cuts.
Yeah.
And I just, like, enjoyed doing that. Like, I just enjoyed. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm bored, I have to do this. Because I feel like now I'm so lethargic to everything. But, like, then it was like, oh, yeah. So, but, dude, you know how many times I've tried to make videos again in this. Think about the TikToks I showed you, the different channels I've done,
oh, dude.
So you know how much that I've tried, hoping that I would still have that spark of, like, oh, I like doing this. It's gone. Don't like doing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember why I was bringing that up. I was gonna tie that into something earlier. But...
Well, with videos, I'm the old man on the mountain that people are like, "Where's the content?" And I'm like, "Shove off! I don't care." It's like I'd rather just do it when I have a good idea. That's it. If I don't have a good idea, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
If I don't have an idea that I think is interesting, you have no idea how many videos I've scrapped. Like, endless hours of content. Fully written out, fully recorded some. Like, it's just like, I'm like, this is not what I want. So I'm not going to finish it. But the funny part is, when I stop thinking about what I and my weird subconscious wants, I actually make the video, look back on it, and I'm like, you know, I'm glad I did that. You know?
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, that's interesting. Because I'm thinking, yeah. So,
Was
I'm
it
pretty sure I know.
awful in the moment? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to answer to this question, but when you're, when you are making like a, like, do you ever have moments where you're like, I'm going to give myself 100% to this, like 100%?
Yeah.
You're just like over the top.
They're like,
You're like over the top, like I'm devoting myself 100%.
yeah.
This is it. This is what I'm doing, no matter what. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing this.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's almost like I'm defining my worth
By this
from
thing.
if I have success in that.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, this
yeah.
is my identity. This is my identity.
It's like,
It's gonna be like either I get this or I got nothing.
it's like, no.
It's like I'll have that mentality. You know, you'll get like amped for like a bit, and then you start doing. When you actually start trying to do it, you're like, why am I putting so much pressure
Dude.
on my?
Well, also,
And the thing is, I can just play a freaking game.
yes. Also,
Why is it like? Why do I have to play something thinking I'm going to be a pro at it all the time?
Also,
like,
why?
That is or that I'm going to get money. It's not going to happen.
Also, the dopamine.
That
is
doesn't
like,
mean that I shouldn't play it.
Yeah.
Then.
Also,
What that's where the disconnect is, dude. The disconnect is, I'm like think of it to an extreme, and then I lose all capability. It's like people love fighting games, and there's people who love fighting games and play it every day. They're terrible at it.
Oh, I'm terrible at fighting games, and
Dude, I
sometimes
love
I'll
them.
pop
I'm
up
off.
and
I'm trash.
I'm
trash.
horrible, dude.
But it's like why can't I just be that guy who's slowly improving?
I was
Won't be anything special, and is just playing the game because he likes playing the game.
I was the guy who went on Smash Flash and fought people. It was terrible.
Smash Flash is pretty cool though.
But it's like it has Ichigo. That's like that's like as far as it gets, man.
So yeah, I remember you play Marvel, or no, not Marvel. What's that DC one?
Oh, Injustice 2? Yeah. It's like a comic book nerd's dream. Literally like a...
Yeah, that one.
Like, that's a comic book...
That
like,
one. I remember you said you went online and you were like, whoa.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just
I
got
was like, nope.
dumpstered.
And then
That's how fighting games are.
And then I was like, you know what? No. It's like, I'm not even going to do this online. I was like, I don't even want to do this. That was my first thing I did when I opened the game. And I was like, nah, this ain't for me, Chief. I can suffer through things, but this one, no.
Yeah. So basically, I should just be thinking of things for fun, and I should be punching any other thought down.
Yeah, go.
I should be like, it's like, in the sense of you're not trying to ignore it, but it's like
No.
it's just gonna be. It's not productive
Well,
thinking. It's
well,
just a cycle of.
Contain it, and then and don't let the dopamine hit you. Just force it out. Force it out. Then that's how I finish my videos. I ignored the dopamine and then the random negative stuff where I was like, oh, wah this, wah that, why, wah, complain. Honestly, it frustrates me thinking about it because it's like, dude, what are you doing? Just get over it. Get the frick over it. Just, seriously, just do it. Just do it.
You're totally right. You're totally right. Yeah, you're totally right.
Shut up and do it. Shut
I'm
up.
just laughing. Yeah. I'm just laughing.
If you want to do this bad, shut up and do it. Stop thinking about it.
You're like, I'm tired of hearing about it.
I'm tired of hearing about it from myself. Even tonight. As we're talking, I'm thinking about it. Shut up. That's what I'm telling my brain. Shut up.
Oh, you're completely correct on that.
What, like, dude, just...
Dude, the viewers probably think like they're like if people are actually listening consistently, they're like, John's talking about this again?
And then they're like, and then they see me just drop my stoic demeanor for a second. Seriously, shut up.
Yeah. Just do it. Dude, you live one time. It's a game. Dude, the thing is, I'm taking it way too seriously. It's a game. It's a game. It's a
It's just
freaking game.
Earth, where
It's a
we're-
video game. And I know this stuff, but I've let myself...
Just freaking do it.
I've let myself slip into this weird mentality.
You're gonna
that we
regret it
talked
if
about.
you don't. For the rest
I will.
of your freaking
honestly-
life.
I will. I will go back and forth forever being like... It's like they're calling my name and I'm like ignoring it. I'm like, no, it's too hard.
Like
Too
if
hard.
that is stuck in your head, just
I can't
do
stop
it.
thinking about it. Literally can't. I like obsessively am like, oh, I need to play this. I need to play this.
Just
Even
do it.
before Evo. Even before Evo, I was thinking. I was like, dude, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. I really want to do this. I'm like, nah, can't. Too hard. Don't want to put the time in.
Too hard. Don't want to put the time in. Here's what you do: put the time in like a normal human being would, and then like a
It's like
normal-
I'm pushing stuff I'm passionate about. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like purposely
impossible.
pushing it aside.
Impossible, terrible, bad. Look at this. You're like, well, this is a dumb dream. It's like, no dream is freaking dumb, dude. Does it mean everything's going to come true? No. But you have to work to make it come true, bucko. And it doesn't matter if it's 100% as you see it. It doesn't matter if you're at the top. What matters is
No,
that you
I'm not going to be at the
least
top. That's fine. Who
got
cares?
in there. That's it. That's all you want to do.
I got in the ring.
Just
Whole
get in the
point is that I
ring.
got in the ring.
Have some fun. Don't think, I gotta be at the top. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Now. Take it
Yeah,
slowly.
now. Has to be now.
Life's a journey. Life's a journey. It's gonna be slow. It's
We
gonna
don't have any
its-
other choice. It has to be a journey.
It's gonna have
so
its
you either
moments where you're like-
the funny part is about life being the people are always like, you really got to enjoy it because it's about the journey. You have to have that attitude
have to.
because we don't have a choice.
That's the only way. I mean,
Because
100
the only thing we have is the journey. You're not going to be at
Yeah,
100%. We can't
You're not
fast
gonna go-
forward time.
you don't have to
And if I
flash.
could fast forward time, I'll be a fat lazy guy like I am now. Even if I had the ability to fast forward time, I would be fast forwarding time and having the same conversation with you
Yes, you would
on
be.
this podcast.
You would be.
Unless I do something about it.
Yes,
It doesn't matter if I can fast forward time or
going to
not because you got to
constantly
do something about
over
it.
and over. That's why I don't bring. You're at the beginning. You talked about. You're like, oh, you don't really bring up a lot of the stuff that you're doing for a good reason. Because every time I do, I don't do it.
Me too. Me too.
Anytime you say
Honestly.
something in Word doesn't mean it's gonna be. It's this magic seal that makes it so it just goes. whoosh. It's not
Because
magic.
you get that little dopamine hit because you talked about it.
No, it's not. It's not like that. You don't do that. Seriously, if that were the case, everyone would be playing fighting games all the time. Everyone would be making games. Everyone would be doing all this stuff. If that were the case.
That is accurate. That is accurate.
It literally, and I'm gonna be honest, it's more impressive that you want to do it, in my opinion, that much. Like, obviously, you shouldn't be like going, like letting it.
I can't stop thinking about it.
letting it consume your brain.
First off, Mario Kart's very fun. It's very fun. Don't get me wrong, but I literally bought it because from like avoidance, basically. I'm pretty sure. I'm literally like, okay, well, I'll play this casual game, and then that'll just be my life. And then I immediately, not to say Mario Kart is a blast.
Yeah,
I'm not
thank
dissing
you.
Mario Kart at all. But I'm saying, like, in the back of my mind, it's always like, yeah, but you're just kind of copping out before you even
It's
really
like
try.
you are copying out before you try. You're denying yourself something you'd be proud of. Who does that? That's like
It
saying.
doesn't make
It's
any
like
sense.
saying.
It really doesn't make any sense.
That's like saying I have this like job that I have and I'm having a good day at work and I'm like, oh, but I gotta stop now. I gotta stop now because it's getting a little annoying and hard. At the end of the workday, I feel amazing. It's like the most gratifying thing you could ever, one of the most gratifying feelings you could ever have.
Yeah.
And you're always like, oh. It's like, how about you, kids? Treat it like a job in some ways. Don't treat it like it's your life, but sometimes you have to treat it like it's a job. You can't just have this thing where it's like, dude, it's immediately fun all of a sudden, even though I'm sucking at this, or this isn't like fulfilling my vision. As a creative type, at fulfilling my vision, it's terrible. You think, oh, my vision's not fulfilled. This wasn't worth it. It's 100% worth it. Just do it. I say this 100 times, but I mean it now.
Dude, me
Do
too.
it.
Me too.
I'm gonna threaten everybody in this show, including you.
Yeah, do it.
You better do it.
Do it.
You better do it. And that's as a compliment, as a good thing. If you saw yourself accomplishing something, like at all, like you were talking about how, dude, you accomplished all this stuff. That's what COD was for you. Proving you could do something. Now, did you need to be that obsessive? No. But let me be honest.
I didn't have. When Warzone 1 came out, I didn't have a choice. It was just naturally. I was just naturally like, I am like, it wasn't like I was forcing myself. Towards the end, maybe I was like, oh, I gotta play today. I gotta play. But for the most part, with Warzone 1, it was like, just naturally, it was like, oh, I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. And honestly, yeah, that was some. And honestly, great memories in gaming. I'll remember that stuff forever.
Yeah.
Time has passed, but it was a blast.
Be persistent. That's it. Just be persistent. And
Keep it secret.
Calm
Keep it safe.
down. Calm down. Your brain's going 5 million hours an hour.
I've actually been able to do really good with like kind of. Usually, I would be obsessive about it, but it's like I've been pretty good at being able to curb it.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking about it that much, it's like, then why aren't you?
Yeah.
Why would you be? It's like I'm doing myself a disservice not trying to do it.
And for me, I just need to be freaking realistic. I just need to show about
Same. I need
the
to be
unrealistic
realistic
stuff.
as well.
Get that out. For me, it's like, get that out, dude. What did you actually accomplish doing? Videos and modding. That's all you accomplished. You never accomplished making a game.
You have learned a lot about making games. Though.
I've learned a lot, but like, which one have I actually accomplished and finished stuff on? Those two. Even if it was like simple skins, I at least finished that stuff. Can I say the same for anything else? No.
I think of which game you got the farthest on.
None.
I feel like the one that I heard you talk about the most was that like detective one that you were working on.
Yeah, it had some good concepts, but the problem was you have to model every single asset. You have.
I know. I'm just curious. I was just thinking about it.
Oh no, it was Blade Master. That's the furthest I've gotten.
Blade is the first. Yeah, that one was cool.
It had full combat,
that one was
dude.
cool
It had a combat
too.
system. It had, and it's gone.
Oh, that
forever.
was the one with the green. That was the one with the.
He had like yellow. He had white hair. He was like fully an anime model that would walk around. He had like a samurai sword.
Dude, yes,
and
that was the one. That was the one. Yes.
And then they were like
that was
Knights Templar.
Dude, yes, that one. That one you got super far on.
And that's because I took it realistically. I wasn't sitting there for hours trying to debug one issue. Like the whole time, I was like, well, this is gonna suck because it's hard, and I was hand animating the character. These days, that's not a good idea. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. It was an RPG. Even though I only played like a couple RPGs in my life, like barely any. I played Pokemon and I played KOTOR.
Well, KOTOR is two of the. Those are both two of the best to ever exist.
Like.
So.
That's my. That's as far as I got.
That's a good scale. That's a good measure.
And that was just so funny, and that it was just Pokemon. It was basically Pokemon with 3D dudes with swords. And then sometimes when you'd hit a different key on the keyboard, he would form change, so he'd get like a white outfit with glowing eyes.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
that was
or like
cool. You went like deep in that.
Yeah. I remember. It was my 2D sprite. I actually took the 2D sprite and converted it into 3D. So it was nuts. I had a full script written out. I had everything. I had a moral. I had
Why'd you stop that one?
Because it was insane. It was a 3D RP. Well, like I had to invent my own combat system from the ground up.
Yeah, and you did.
And I did. It was insane. It was like, what?
But like you have gained a lot of knowledge from
It's
all
like
this
even
stuff.
as a
even
kid,
that.
even as a kid, I would just like watch them talk about how Halo was made. I'd like pull out the commentary of the first game. I had a Legendary Edition DVD. I would listen to them talk about
But
it.
you're giving me advice. Are you talking to yourself too?
Hours.
It sounds like you want to make a game.
Well, I'm going to be honest. It just makes me want to mod Halo. That's all it does. I used to do that all the time, dude. all the time.
I started
do
out
every-
modding. for
I
Spidey.
mod Halo all the time, dude. That was probably the funnest game I've ever touched. Because it's just
I love
like, I
Halo.
do such stupid little stuff in it. Like, oh, maybe I can add a squad of elites on this map. I have like a full squad going down. It was nuts. I haven't had a fully functioning mission, actually. That was pretty crazy. I had where you'd like land from a Hornet, and then you'd go out with this like ODST buddy, and he'd like come up
Oh,
there.
I remember. I fully remember
And then,
this.
and then you'd
Yeah.
like every time you go on the level, the enemies would load in too, just
Yep.
like how Bungie did it. Yeah, I copied their because all it is copying and pasting script. That's it. For game development, you have to like make everything from the ground up, everything. And if something doesn't work, good luck.
You gotta figure it out.
Good luck. You have to figure it out, and then
So Matt's.
the error compiler blinks like. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh,
It's like,
I
what?
remember that
What
even
do
just
I
from
do?
school, yeah.
What are you saying? It was one parenthesis. What? At least with
I feel like coding's gonna get a lot easier though with like Chat GPT.
oh, dude, it's still gonna be. It's still honestly, I feel like it's gonna turn into the Wild West. It's gonna be terrible. Actually, it'll still be terrible because how do you tell an AI to debug every issue when the compiler can't even tell you what the problem
yeah, but
is?
it's way advanced now. I mean, it's getting advanced.
That just seems like. And besides,
I know that people who code already use it.
every game is gonna play the same because you use that. Every game is gonna play the same. Every issue is gonna be the same bug. It's gonna be the same bug. It's gonna be the same problem because you just be like, write me a script for this. Okay, so how do you combine that into the actual game? Like, how do you?
I don't know, dude, but computer's language.
Oh
is
no,
code.
I'm saying it's working,
don't-
but it's like it's the amount of like work you'd still have to do. You'd have to be like, this goes here.
Oh, it's not doing it.
This
It's not-
goes
it's not like-
here.
I'm not
like,
saying it's like magically done.
honestly, that
for
sounds
you.
like a logistics nightmare, where you're just like, oh, what's this script? I don't even understand what it does. It's like, you probably should.
You could be like, explain what this script does, and it would just tell you.
It's like advanced Google search. That is what ChatGPT is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basically.
But it's getting like crazy.
Oh yeah,
good
dude.
these
No,
days.
no, it is. But it's just and
Anyway.
and besides, indie developers aren't gonna have access to that crap. No one's gonna let them do it. They're gonna be like $500 for your ChatGPT trial.
ChatGPT is pretty cheap, honestly.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for them to bring up the prices when someone makes an amazing game. They're like, dude,
It probably will.
no, dude, they always do that. They,
Is Matt still working? So Matt's still working on his
oh
game
yeah,
over
dude.
there.
He's just slowly adding bits after bits. I'm actually helping him with it. I'm actually
I like how that was started out as TJ's game,
Yep.
our other brother,
and I'm
who
sitting
doesn't work
here-
on it at all, and now Matt
Yep.
works on it, and you work on it
And I'm
without
teaching.
TJ.
Yep, I'm just like, hey Matt, this is how I did this. It's terrible, but you can give it a shot. It's literally like, it's amazing when you're done, but it's awful when you're sitting there like dragging out. Stuff just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's literally insane.
The small amount I've dabbled into coding, trust me.
Oh,
dude.
coding's a blast.
I know.
Coding is a blast, but when you sit there and like have 50 errors, and not only that, the art doesn't work. Maybe he walks too fast. Maybe you forgot to draw another frame. Maybe you forgot to model another part of it. Maybe your animation looks too slow, or his arms are wigging out all over the place, and it's like
Remember that guy
chaos.
looking at a big dog?
Oh yeah, it's because the grapple hook code was terrible. It was literally awful. It was like jiggling around. And then I found out a way to do it better without even using that. Without even looking at the internet.
Nice,
barely.
dude.
Barely. And I was like,
Dude.
The internet's terrible. It's
Oh,
terrible.
so, yeah.
All right, we're like,
What are we at?
oh, we're at let's just say we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, I think.
Really?
We're 40 minutes for the other clip and 40 minutes for this clip.
So, wow.
But
But
yeah,
I was
finish your
gonna
thought.
say, Evo So that with the tournament that I watched, Leffen, you know Leffen,
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Player.
The tier list, dude, his legendary
Just-
fighting
just
game tier list.
He just recently won a Smash major, one of the hardest majors. It had the most people. It had Mango, it had Zane, it had all these people. He won first, and he plays tons of fighting games. He's also won Evo, Smash Bros. Evo before. It's like when Smash Bros. Was at Evo, this tournament, he won. Very prestigious. He won Evo for Smash. He was playing Guilty Gear Strive this time, and he won that at Evo. That's a different game.
And that's his skills transferring from one game to the other.
Well, he's been playing fighting games his whole life.
But bro, it's the same when you're talking about Ultimate. I see you, dude. You're using tricks from Melee over there.
Really?
Yes, dude.
I guess I didn't really notice.
Yes, you are instinctively.
Yeah, I'm sure it translates to an
It
extent.
does. No, dude.
Well,
You-
platform fighters are a lot different than like Street Fighter or
Like it's different, but like, I mean, it's still an insane amount of work to figure this stuff out. And
Either way, he won a second game at Evo. He won first. I was rooting for him the whole time. I was like, dude, left, come on, and he won.
Yeah, no, he's one of the he's very down to earth, I'll say, compared to the other fighting gamers who are kind of weird.
Well, let me just go ahead and show you his.
Yeah,
Go ahead and show you his tweet real quick here.
he
I don't even know if they're called tweet anymore because Elon called it a.
he changed the name.
Are you in it? Can you see this?
Yeah. He changed the name
What do you mean?
of tweet. You said something about a tweet.
Oh, Elon Musk called it. He changed it from Twitter to just X. You see this?
Why?
I don't know.
From a bird to an X.
This is what he tweeted the second he won. So,
Yeah, I take back what I said.
whoa.
Definitely gonna have to. Me and my boys after Evo, dude. He's riding it. He's
Because
riding
because people were ticked at him for
He's,
people were upset that he won because they're like, "Oh, he's not a fighting game player. He plays Smash." So all these people were hating on him, and then he posted this.
He said, "Son, when you grow up, will you be?"
He doesn't care that people are hating on him at all. This is what people look like after he won. So unenthused.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, he's a Smash player, dude. Low dirt, lower than dirt.
He clapped, dude. He clapped, and it was so fun to watch him clap. My man, dude. My man. When I was a young boy, my father.
Never heard that song in my life.
Anyway, we are way over. And that we didn't look at the Pokemon. We'll have to look at the Pokemon thing next
Yeah,
week.
we can
At
say
least we got a video to watch next week.
Yeah, so basically the video just fills up itself.
Yeah.
Instead of being like us all over the place, me
Dude,
passionately
we were all
screaming,
hey,
screaming at the top of my lungs.
someone needed to hear it. I know I did. Again.
I told you, man, my therapist I used to have was, I guess I should just be a psychiatrist.
You did this time around. You did have a lot of good things. You know, it's weird because we are very, very similar in that way. You and me specifically. I kind of think TJ's like that, like this too. Because when he talks about stuff, he sounds like really similar, where he'll switch stuff and get really obsessed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, it is yeah. So like when you're saying stuff, it is kind of weird because it's like, oh, dude, like this is exactly what I'm thinking, like, exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, that's My therapist told me that. He was like, you helped me. I'm like,
Wait, who said that?
my therapist that I had.
Oh.
I'm like, what? I was so weirded out. It's like, that seems kind of impossible.
It's not impossible.
But it's like, I'm here for you, buddy.
Yeah, you're here to help me, buddy.
Yeah, what? Yeah, what are you talking about? From my perspective, it's like, what? I'm just going over here talking about things. That's it. Providing barely any insight into anything.
Hey man, maybe you got more insight than you think. Well, you do, because you hit your. I mean, you're. You've helped me a bunch, I'm sure.
Well, it's just because I'm being honest with myself. Instead of just lying and being like, let's get trapped in this cycle for the 100th time.
Yeah, you're right. You got to do something to
It's
get
like,
out.
once you've been through the cycle for so long, you start to go crazy and be like, okay, I'm done.
Also.
Okay, yes, Wait,
I want to show you something before we go.
But yeah, no, this was a wild episode. A wild episode. Oh, you bought it again? Yeah, don't get rid of it. Don't.
You've inspired me.
Yeah, don't sell it. Don't sell it for the life of you, because you're just gonna be like, dang.
Well, I can't refund it this time. There's no way Steam. Has anyone ever refunded something twice? I doubt Steam. Steam's really good with the first refund.
I have no clue.
But I feel like, because, dude, any game I've ever refunded off the get-go, even if I'm just like, oh, I don't like the game, they'll just give you it back.
Which is nuts.
I doubt I can do it twice. Anyway.
Yes, we are.
God bless.
God bless. I'm gonna get really close, and so you can see my terrible looking face. Okay, I look like an Oblivion character. Especially with this camera, it's not doing me any favors.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. So funny, because look how good mine. I feel like mine looks so good.
Yeah, I'm like peasant over here.
Yours, it doesn't look.
It doesn't look bad when I'm here.
Weirdly, compared to the first day, it's actually pretty good quality.
Unless I do this, unless I go close, it just.
Yeah, does mine get up close?
Yeah, it looks perfectly fine.
Oh.
Okay.
Anyway,
yes.
I've
got some editing to do. I've got some editing to do.
All right, peace out. God bless.
Peace out.